CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a dramatic moment at a local grocery store captured on video. A woman crashed her car through the front of the building, nearly hitting customers inside. With more on the incident and the aftermath, here's Sean Irvin.
You're watching security video inside a London grocery store, mere seconds before a tragedy is narrowly averted. A shopper places her cart in the aisle, turns to look at some produce, and then bang! In a split second, a car smashes through the front wall of the store, striking the woman's shopping cart, narrowly missing her. The aftermath of the crash is evident outside the store as a temporary wooden wall keeps it in operation. This staff member was inside as the car came barreling through.
So I heard like a very hard smash inside the store. I didn't know like what was happening till I stepped out like from the storage area. Then I saw like how the car drove inside the store.
I just didn't think someone could pick up enough speed to get quarter of the way through the store.
Moments after the crash, a woman in the driver's seat stepped out of the vehicle. With the help of customers and staff, she quickly got her child out of the smoking car. Amazingly, they were not physically hurt, nor were any customers. Now, if this crash had happened just a few hours earlier on Friday, the outcome could have been tragic, as the store is typically full as Friday prayers end at the nearby mosque.
It just looked like something that for sure somebody would be hurt in this. And that's kind of what I'm grateful for.
CTV News reached out to the woman nearly struck. She told us she's still in shock from the incredibly unexpected experience.
She was lucky.
We had a cart that was stuck in between the two tables, and it was pancaked. So if there was a person beside that, that definitely would have been something.
London police tell us no charges have been laid at this time. As to the cause, the store operators believe it was an unfortunate incident, and again, they are grateful no one was hurt. And while they had been considering some modifications to the store's interior, they certainly never wanted to open a wall this way. Didn't expect renovations so quickly.
Exactly.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
A grocery store along Hamilton Road closed up shop this week. As Lauren Stallone reports, for customers it was unexpected and leaves many in the neighborhood without a nearby food source.
This local market shocked its customers earlier this week with the announcement of its closure. Local residents say it was the go-to spot for not only fresh, but affordable produce.
We went to this market probably 2 to 3 times a week.
Margaret Goodyear says she would buy all of her fruits and vegetables from International Marketplace on Hamilton Road.
Because it was so accessible, you could go buy that stuff, consume it immediately, and not have waste.
But just a few days ago, on one of her weekly trips to the store, Margaret learned her neighborhood gem was no more.
I was driving along and literally and then realized I should keep my eyes on the road.
The owner of the plaza says while she understands customers' concerns, she believes this is what is best for the community.
We are thinking the best way to help the community to have a Dollarama as an affordable grocery here.
She says customers will soon be able to pick up fresh bread and produce in the warehouse across from the previous market location.
We understand, this is so hard these days for everyone, and we are trying to help the community, especially in this area, to have a good and affordable product.
Experts say this will likely cause a temporary food desert in the neighborhood.
A food desert is generally thought of as an economically disadvantaged area of a city that doesn't have easy access to healthy and affordable food.
They say individuals without access to a car are most vulnerable.
If you have lots of money, you can get a car and drive to a grocery store, or you can order through online grocery delivery services, but they all come at a premium.
It was great to be able to walk over there every couple days and get 2 cases of strawberries and not break the bank and do it.
Residents say their community is rapidly growing and the need for affordable, fresh food is more important now than ever.
I'm hoping that with the influx of new buildings and new residents, that we will see a grocery store or a fruit and vegetable market pop up in that area in not too long.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
Elsewhere in the city, grocery stores are working together, trying to prevent food waste. Daryl Newcomb has more on the One More Bite program supporting the London Food Bank.
40% off. The end of day best before we'll pull off and we'll freeze for the food bank.
Walking the aisles of the food basics he manages, Chris Coombs has a keen eye for best before dates. If a steep discount still doesn't see the food sold by its best before, it doesn't go to waste.
End of day on the 31st, we pull this, freeze it to donate to the food bank. The One More Bite program actually, it makes me proud to be part of. We have a lot of people in the community that we know are struggling right now.
9 Metro and Food Basics stores in London participate in the One More Bite food recovery program. On the night that a best before date is reached, unsold meat, dairy, bakery products, and prepared meals are loaded onto skids and frozen, awaiting collection by the London Food Bank.
It feels good to be able to give back, prevent it from going to waste. We focus mainly on healthy, nutritious products, make sure we get them to the right people and give back to the community.
When you look at what's come in over those past number of years from One More Bite, it's been hundreds and hundreds of tons worth of food.
And province-wide last year, One More Bite saw 2.6 million kilograms of food, equal to about 5.2 million meals recovered for food banks. Jane Roy says the London Food Bank has been involved in the program since 2019 and has experienced steady growth in both the volume and variety of food received. It's become a vital part of meeting unprecedented demand.
Right now we're serving, double what we did before the pandemic. It's 5,800 families a month, about 17,000 individuals a month get help from the food bank. So this food is going through really quickly.
I'm extremely proud of my staff. We're one of the highest contributing stores for Food Basics. My team's very engaged in it.
247 Metro and Food Basics stores participate in the One More Bite program across Ontario. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Tourist traffic may be down at the Canada-U.S. border, but that's not the case for truckers. As Brian Bicknell reports, there are long lines in Sarnia right now, and the mayor is becoming increasingly concerned about road safety.
A transport truck misses its turnoff, backs up, then steers back onto the exit. Other big rigs follow closely behind on the off-ramp leading into the city of Sarnia.
The line of trucks on this road are just continuous.
On Exmouth Street?
Yep.
My dad gives me the forewarning of when there's a backup and what to avoid.
Truck drivers may be trying to bypass this, a transport truck bottleneck as far as the eye can see on westbound 402 leading to the Blue Water Bridge. Sarnia Mayor Mike Bradley says it's got to stop.
The trucks are coming into the city and the Sarnia police are doing their best to deal with that. But we're also seeing out on the highway interaction between vehicles, which is not good. It's not safe. You've got the trucks in 2 lanes past Molan. You've got cars trying to go down along the highway to bypass the trucks. The trucks aren't letting people in most cases.
The mayor has written to the province's transportation minister asking for immediate steps to ensure free-flowing traffic on the 402 and boost enforcement of trucking violations.
It's very busy at that border crossing, despite the decrease in Canadian traffic to the U.S., so solve it now before there is a loss of life.
And if westbound border traffic wasn't bad enough, traffic has also shut down 402 eastbound for a stretch heading out of the city. That's because the intense heat has caused the pavement to buckle for the 3rd time this summer. Traffic is now being rerouted onto London Line.
The province needs to investigate. Is it the same contractor? Why is this happening? Because of heat? You can't tell me they're building roads that can't sustain high temperatures.
The OPP, meantime, is asking drivers to plan for extra travel time. In Sarnia-Lambton, Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
The U.S. ambassador to Canada says he's hopeful a trade deal is coming ahead of President Donald Trump's Friday deadline. What's not clear, whether that can happen before the deadline passes. With the latest, here's Abigail Beeman.
A government source tells CTV News there's a good level of optimism about Minister Dominic LeBlanc's next DC trip, and discussions will still center on trying to get a deal before the Friday deadline.
I'm hopeful that a number of additional irritants, maybe on both sides, will be addressed.
While the American ambassador told a Winnipeg audience he's hopeful about a deal in the coming days, and Pete Hoekstra makes it sound easy.
We could hammer out a deal, and we would still have time to get coffee and a donut at Tim Hortons before lunch.
My life is full of questions. Meanwhile, prices are going up from household product giant Procter & Gamble, expecting about $1 billion hit from Donald Trump's tariffs.
In the long term, this direction will weaken the free world more than it will help it, and it will, I think, ultimately weaken the United States as well. So I think it's unfortunate. But
Canada. What about Canada? I don't know what they're feeling now at this point.
In an interview, U.S. Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, LeBlanc's main point of contact, said the European Union's deal was all about protecting their auto, semiconductor, and pharmaceutical markets, warning
President Trump is going to come out in the next 2 weeks with his pharmaceutical policy, and it is going to be higher. Basically, if you are not building your plant in America where we pay for pharmaceuticals, you are going to pay a massive tariff.
With that Friday deadline looming, Canadian officials and the American ambassador are messaging optimism just days after President Trump said he hasn't had much luck with Canada and there may not be a deal at all. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Local researchers say they've made significant progress on treating a common knee issue. The condition often requires knee replacement, but as Rita Ismail reports, with this new approach, that may not be necessary.
Knee osteoarthritis affects people around the world, bringing pain, stiffness, and eventually joint replacement surgery for many. But a new study led by researchers at Western University and the Fowler Kennedy Sport Medicine Clinic is offering hope.
The surgeons will try to intervene earlier in the disease process than later, after the patient is not improving with good non-operative care. So in the surgery, they'll take that malaligned limb, so that bowed limb, and actually straighten it to shift loads away from that most damaged compartment of the knee.
The 2-year clinical trial followed 145 patients, comparing those who had high tibial osteotomy, or HTO, along with non-surgical therapy, to those who had therapy alone. The results were clear. HTO slowed joint damage, reduced pain, and improved movement, offering the first real evidence that a treatment can actually change the course of osteoarthritis.
Surgery has a long-standing history, many decades. It actually has roots in a lot of countries in Europe, and we actually had the original procedures being done here by Dr. Peter Fowler.
While HTO is less common than joint replacement, the study's authors say it deserves renewed attention, especially for people in their 50s with specific alignment issues.
The study also has wider implications in that it shows if you improve the biomechanics acting on the joint, you can actually alter the course of osteoarthritis.
The procedure isn't for everyone, but for the right patients, it could delay or even prevent knee replacement. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Authorities in Stratford say Lake Victoria near the Avon River must be drained, blaming debris blocking the dam's gate. As Karis Map reports, the issues stem from last week's intense storm.
What was once a full body of water is now draining rather quickly. To avoid flooding during Thursday's storm, the automatic gate at Stratford's RT Ore Dam lifted as expected. The problem now, debris is obstructing the gate from closing.
The thinking is that we may have to gradually lower the water level in the Avon River until it is below a level that will allow us to get in there and remove the debris.
The water continues to drain.
The last we checked, it was lowering at a rate of 1 inch per hour. So that is significant. If we have to continue kind of gradually letting the lake draw down, then we will get to below winter levels, which is quite significant.
And people are taking notice.
I love kayaking, and then I'm not going to be able to kayak if the water's drained to that low.
It won't be as nice for visitors and especially residents as well who like to walk by the river here.
Not ideal for this time of year, but officials say they're grateful the dam acted as it should.
What happens with the Ore Dam is during an event with that large amount of water coming down, the gates open to actually prevent flooding occurring upstream of the dam, which is kind of the opposite of many other dam structures.
Once the debris is gone, getting water back in the river could be more difficult.
We need a really good rainfall to kind of build that base back up.
Businesses next to the dam are impacted.
We have a boat that goes out on scenic guided tours. We have paddle boats, canoes, kayaks that we go out. So we have a lot of visitors that's come into Stratford.
Me and my family were going to go on the boat and go down the river, but we can't because we're not allowed on it.
Stratford's mayor, however, remains optimistic about visitors keeping busy.
Tourists are tourists for a reason. They find things to do if some things don't work out.
It's unclear when people will be able to get back on the water. The Conservation Authority is asking for patience. Kara Smapp, CTV News.
Later on CTV News, the Prime Minister and the pop star. Rumors swirling after Justin Trudeau was spotted dining with a famous California girl. Canada's main stock index finished higher to cap off today's trading, while American markets moved lower. The TSX gained 134 points in New York. The Dow fell 205. The Nasdaq dropped 80. The Canadian dollar down a quarter cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained $14 an ounce, and oil added $2.50 a barrel. We're learning more about the victims and the apparent motive behind last night's mass shooting in New York. 5 people are dead, including the shooter and a police officer. With the latest, here's Joy Malbin.
A gunman carrying an assault rifle entering an office building in the heart of Manhattan, terrifying New Yorkers stunned by what happened.
Somebody walking around the streets of Manhattan with an assault rifle. It's a little bit scary.
Investigators say 27-year-old Shane Tamura of Las Vegas seemed to target NFL headquarters, blaming the league in a suicide note, claiming to suffer from CTE, a chronic brain disease associated with repeated head injuries. Tamura played high school football in California and in that note said, "Study my brain, please, and I'm sorry for everything."
The motives appeared to be connected to the shooter's belief that he was suffering from CTE and he was an ex-NFL player. Those items just don't pan out. He never played for the NFL.
A line of police officers honoring one of their own, Darul Islam, the first to be shot, hailed as a hero. The 36-year-old father leaves behind a wife expecting their third child.
Anyone needed any help, he was always there. And yeah, we lost him, and he didn't deserve to die that early.
Unarmed security guard Alain Etienne was also ambushed. The shooter made it to the 33rd floor, killing Wesley LePatner, a senior executive and mother of 2, and Julia Hyman, a college graduate. Tamura had a history of mental health problems, carrying out his rampage with an assault weapon outlawed in New York. The governor calling for a national law banning such weapons.
He had a concealed carry permit, which allowed him to have this weapon. Much looser laws in the state of Nevada than we have here.
Detectives are now headed to Las Vegas to search the gunman's home. They found a loaded pistol, ammunition in his car, and medication for depression. He appears to have acted alone. Joy Malbin, CTV News, Washington.
Just a few clouds overnight. The heat warning comes to an end, waking up Wednesday morning. Still quite muggy first thing in the morning. The temperature 19 degrees by about 8 o'clock at 21. Thanks, Jocelyn, for this photo of Boba. If you are planning a pool day tomorrow, there's a slight chance for a pop-up shower heading into the afternoon. Looking for some rain in this forecast. Cooler temperatures arrive. I'll take you through your holiday weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Welcome back on the desk with meteorologist Julie Adgerson now. And as we get into the back half of the week, some relief in the forecast, at least for these temperatures, because it was another hot one today.
Yeah, for sure. We hit 32 degrees, and this time of year, when we see these extended stretches, it can be quite difficult, especially if you're spending outdoor time working or you want to just be outside doing some outdoor exercise. That can be quite difficult when the temperatures get this hot and humid. Now, our heat warning comes to an end, and we're looking at some beautiful conditions heading into the weekend, as Carlyle mentioned. Now, we do have a few showers to get through, but we need rain. That's for sure. So we'll be looking for some rain in this forecast. Probability of showers heading into tomorrow on the lower end, but we're going to ramp that up a bit on Thursday, and I'll show you why in just a second. Overnight, quite muggy, 17 to 18 degrees. Along the shoreline of Huron tonight, 20. We have a cold front that will slowly slump its way in. We had a few spotty showers earlier towards the Bruce Peninsula. You have a slight risk overnight of some very light rainfall. Now, this front will continue just to slowly move in. It almost looks like it starts to flatten out. This low pressure area will be riding along that boundary, but not really bringing a whole lot in the way of rainfall tomorrow. We will see a bit of a shift in the winds, which could be a bit problematic. We do have some forest fire smoke that's moving through northern Ontario, creating poor air quality. And with the shift in the northerly wind, we could see some of that filter down. So keeping an eye on that for tomorrow. Now, in terms of our forecast, waking up to a mix of sun and cloud heading into the afternoon. The probability about a 40% chance, although this forecast model really not bringing a whole lot in the way of rainfall. Thursday morning, though, looks like some rain and some steadier rain, especially as we head along that northern shoreline of Lake Erie. North of that, even in London, Middlesex County, some rainfall. But as we head towards Huron and Perth, it'll be a little bit more in terms of lighter rain. And then north of that, just mainly cloudy conditions. So it looks like we'll squeeze out some rainfall on Thursday. The front will stall south of us, and then that wave of low pressure that I was just mentioning, that rides along the boundary, generates some rainfall and just pushes enough moisture north that we get into some rain. We need it. July, we have been rain deficit for sure, so we'll pick up some rainfall hopefully on Thursday before we get into a big sprawling ridge of high pressure that will bring cooler and drier conditions for the long weekend and some great weather. So mix of sun and cloud tomorrow, 29 in the afternoon. Still feeling like the mid-30s, probability of showers at a 40% chance. Thursday morning rain, Thursday afternoon back into a mix of sun and cloud, mainly sunny on Friday and 26. Saturday sunshine, Sunday sunshine, Monday a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs over the holiday weekend, 27 to 28. But friends, let's talk about these overnight lows, 12 to 13 degrees. That is beautiful for this time of year. Great weather to open up the windows, let some fresh air in. This will be one of those weekends with lower humidity, comfortable conditions, and really perfect weather setting up. Mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday and 28, and the overnight low comes back up. Midwestern Ontario, you have a nice day to start tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud most areas. Slight risk for showers, especially towards Grey and Bruce County. And then heading into the afternoon, about a 40% chance of a pop-up shower. It doesn't look too widespread. Then on Thursday, some showers. Areas to the south could see more of a steady rain. Areas to the north, just mainly cloudy. And then Friday, sun. This is a big area of high pressure. Saturday, sun. Sunday, sun. Monday, sun. 26 to 27 degrees. Comfortable overnight lows. Beautiful afternoon. Daytime highs. This is the kind of weather that we hope for a long weekend, and things are shaping up to be beautiful right across the region. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks very much, Julie. Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has found himself in the American tabloid crosshairs. He was spotted at a high-end Montreal restaurant dining with pop star Katy Perry. As Rachel Ayala reports, the rumor mills are churning.
Pictures of last night ending up online. Former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and American pop star Katy Perry were spotted having dinner at a table for two inside one of Canada's best restaurants, Montreal's La Violaine. According to TMZ, their security kept a close eye as the pair shared the tasting menu but skipped dessert, with Trudeau reportedly picking up the tab. The chef that served them told the celebrity news source that there didn't appear to be any fireworks between the former Prime Minister and the California girl. Though new pictures then emerged showing the pair out for an afternoon walk in Montreal before their meal. Trudeau is single, she's single. What do you think?
I could see it happening. I could see it, yeah.
Perry is in the midst of the Canadian leg of her The Lifetimes tour, performing in Ottawa tonight, where fans weighed in on the surprise sightings.
I would ship that. I don't know, they're both I like Trudeau.
But yeah, I think that would be a power couple move.
So that's very funny. So we're hoping to see him maybe today.
That's quite shocking compared to, like, we've been talking about it all morning.
With her, like, you don't really know if it's gonna be like they're just friends or like they're actually dating. Like, we don't even know. But like, it's just so random.
Monday's outing was a rare sighting of the former prime minister, who's kept a low profile since his resignation. Both he and Perry have recently gone through public splits with their longtime partners. Perry will be back in Montreal tomorrow for another show, and time will tell if the star is hot or cold for another Trudeau meetup. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, a local Christmas landmark is on the move again. Santa's house has been part of London's holiday season for a decade, but this year the big man in red will set up shop in St. Thomas. Brent Lale reports.
Santa's house is about to move south for the winter.
We've raised hundreds of thousands for kids in London, so now it's a new chapter.
After years of searching for a permanent home in London, Leo Lariza has worked out an agreement with the Elgin County Railway Museum to bring the holiday landmark to St. Thomas.
We thought it was a great opportunity for the community. Last year we had 350 Christmas trees here. We gave some money back to the coldest night of the year here in town. And it's just a great opportunity for business to showcase their business, have the trees up, come in, see the trees, and now you're going to see the trees and come see Santa.
After 7 years in Victoria Park and 3 more at the Covent Garden Market, it now has a new home.
I want to thank London for everything they've done this past 10 years. They've been amazing. It's just that we couldn't come up with another home for Santa in London. I don't know why.
Lariza says Will Zufelt and his team approached him and wanted the house.
Santa's house will set up shop here this Christmas at the museum. Going forward, they have bigger dreams, which could include trains and the rail line.
We're just going to save those plans for next year, but it's going to happen. More tourism for St. Thomas. It is a great town, and we're just going to keep on, spreading the Christmas cheer.
Lariza is both excited and sad about this new location. He believes the best spot would still be in Victoria Park or at Storybook Gardens.
1 or 2 people complain and say it's an eyesore. Well, the city reacts and says, well, we got to get it out of here. And I think we got to stop that. We got to look at the reason why Santa House was there to begin with. If their child was sick and we had to take care of them, they would certainly change their views on it being an eyesore. So I just think London had its time, and now St. Thomas is going to gain something. They got a big group behind them to make it even more successful.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.